Hello and welcome. It's time for another edition of Poland Daily Travel. My name's Will Richardson, and this time we'll be taking you on a series of episodes exploring the Warsaw Zoo. It's a peaceful reserve located on the eastern bank of the Vistula River in Warsaw. So come along with us and let's visit the Warsaw Zoo.
The feeling reminds me of the Anne Frank house
Exactly.
in Amsterdam.
So you can really feel it.
Yeah, I feel the atmosphere, you know. I
Exactly.
remember, well, if you can remember what that movie's like, folks, then you can have some idea of what it was like for these people. And we're standing here, right in this place, where something actually miraculous happened. It's a sort of smaller Schindler's List. It's kind of like the claustrophobia of the Anne Frank story. And that's right here, in the middle of a zoo. They're hiding somewhat in plain sight, because this is the director of the zoo, so it's not some obscure house. Jan Żabiński, as we said, and his wife were basically running the zoo.
And in the very same moment, Antonina, she was pregnant, and their daughter Tereska was born in 1944. So it was all happening in this very moment. And there is quotation of Jan Żabiński provided in Yad Vashem Museum that was established in Jerusalem in 1965, the year, the date when it was provided over there, that he just wanted to help people, not because they were Jewish, but because they were persecuted. And he's saying over there in Yad Vashem Museum that it's a man's thing to help people who were persecuted. And if these were Germans who would be persecuted, he would help Germans. And that was just something that he knew he had to do, help people who were persecuted at that time, so Jewish people who were persecuted.
It's also, there's an irony, which many of you have already gotten, I'm sure. They're zookeepers taking care of animals. They've also become human keepers, or what, a keeper of human beings. It's the same spirit in a sense, and I think it's worth thinking when people go, oh, zoos are horrible places. It depends on the care that's given in the zoo, and I think you'll see as we walk around here that this is a zoo that is very well set out. The animals are very well taken care of, and it is something extremely educational. So some of you may be against zoos. I'm personally not. I think there's a place for them. The people who started this zoo were actually huge humanitarians and friends of nature. The interesting thing to see, though, now would be if we go right around the corner. Don't say. We go right around the corner, and we'll show you where they used to end up when they would go out and hide from these patrols. Okay, Poland Daily Travel. We'll just tack this on to the end of this program. Okay, come on, we're going to walk around the corner. Okay, so we walked around just from the tunnel, the beginning of the tunnel, or where you could look to the beginning of the tunnel, over to the other side, and this is where it ended up. And this here is a cage full of parrots. And isn't that the way it was at the same time?
That's exactly how it was. So we can see
They haven't changed it. Yeah.
exterior area
Yeah.
where everyone could be seen, of course.
Yeah.
But then inside there is a little space covered where people could hide, so they couldn't be seen by soldiers coming, visiting, controlling
Yeah.
this area.
So the parrots actually kept quiet. I don't think these are talking parrots. I haven't heard them say anything. But the parrots kept quiet, and people were able to hide here. And I think that's... I'm doing it again. As soon as I said they kept quiet, they're arguing. They're arguing with us. How about that? Isn't that amazing?
Once
Okay.
you stop the rain, and now you make the parrots talk. So
Parrots
that's
are
a
talking.
thing.
Well, I just think that they are agreeing with what we just said for their ancestors. Let's just leave it at that. Poland Daily Travel. We're here at the Warsaw Zoo at the zookeeper's wife's house, if you saw the movie. Back with more from inside the house.